Extreme Rules 2019.
Just how extreme are these rules? Like, how extreme are these rules going to be?
Well, considering there's 1, 2, 3, again, 3 extreme matches per se.
Well, at least let's see. We have a no holds barred tag team match.
Legitimate extreme. We have a legitimate Extreme Rules match. And a last man standing match.
So I think that's about 3 of them. So yeah.
And just think, looking at the card from this year compared to last year's Extreme Rules, and holy shit, what the fuck was it?
I think I forgot what was it.
Just imagine, last year we had Andrade and Sin Cara. We had Sanity, who were still a thing.
Back then, yeah, versus
and New Day.
Which was possibly the last match
team,
they were a thing.
The B team against Bray Wyatt and Matt Hardy. Balor and Corbin. Carmella and Asuka. Shinsuke, who won the title in 6 seconds against Jeff Hardy.
That was a legendary bout in my book.
Kevin Owens and Braun Strowman.
Which I remember you actually...
Bludgeon Brothers versus predicted KO. Yep. Bludgeon Brothers and Hell No. Lashley and Reigns. Alexa Bliss versus Nia Jax. AJ Styles and Rusev for the WWE Championship.
Basically, this year's card is much different. And I guess you could say that's...
And the main event was Ziggler versus Rollins for the IC title. And now this year is... What the fuck?
Well, honestly, I think the card is pretty stacked with some interesting matches, to say the least. But only...
It's diverse. It's really weird.
I would not say it's a bad card, honestly, but it could, but it's just a interesting one, is the best way I could say it.
Just imagine. Last year, Daniel Bryan went in as a challenger for the SmackDown titles at Extreme Rules. This year, he's actually the champion going in. Anyways, last time at Stomping Grounds,
which was, in my opinion, a surprisingly decent show, at least.
Dull.
Yeah.
It was a dull show. I'm still waiting for that big fuck you moment in WWE.
You mean when Brock Lesnar finally
enough,
cashes in his briefcase?
Oh, don't forget, Paul Heyman spoiled that was going to be on this pay-per-view. Will it? Maybe?
I think that was more on the slip of the tongue than really spoiling anything, but who knows?
Well, that's not a prediction. That's a spoiler. I can't really see Brock cashing on this show. It's not really an important pay-per-view. I can see him cashing in on SummerSlam, which I think is where Kofi's reign would end regardless. If that means having it drop to Joe for like 10 seconds, I'll be pissed off.
Yeah, I was believing, if you guys didn't know what I said in my last prediction video, I was believing Brock Lesnar was definitely going to cash in on Stomping Grounds, and because I think he'll take the advantage of Kofi being in a steel cage, but apparently that did not happen. But
yeah, I used that argument in another prediction, and it was just like, well, that makes no sense. Well, yeah, it does.
and
then let's just talk about one of the most shocking things of the night. Lacey Evans was the special guest referee.
That was absolutely
I didn't think
genius.
anyone saw that coming.
That was actually
I
genius.
didn't think that was coming.
It was a little bit random.
Well, because we knew
genius.
that Seth said... Well, Seth went around attacking everyone with a steel chair. He can't attack a female wrestler. Why not make it Lacey? That was genius on Baron's part.
I will admit that was genius on his part. I actually like that twist. Because it was like one of those twists that first were like, wait, seriously, what the fuck? Why of all people? Then you put the pieces together of how Seth can't hit a woman in the PG era, definitely, and I was like, oh yeah, okay, that's genius.
Well, at least we're starting to move out of the PG era.
Yeah, speaking of which, I'm gotta say, the last few Raws and SmackDowns have definitely been, I have a lot more of an edge to it, and I like it. I really like it, especially...
Well, it's because Heyman and Bischoff are in charge now. I mean,
yeah, like, they're not, like, in charge, but Vince would listen to their ideas pretty much more than anyone in the locker room right now, so I guess if they keep...
And it's showing.
Especially with Heyman, if they keep on going with this, it'll be an probably get a lot more interesting, and then, as Ryan says, there has been news that they're trying to get away with the PG rating. Now, I'll only believe that when I see the PG rating actually gone. But with how things are going, I can believe that. Especially since they're going to the USA Network. And from what I heard quite a while ago, not USA, I am stupid. Fox. Shoot. When they're going to Fox wants SmackDown to be a much more edgier show, a much more edgier program. So I guess they're trying to transition into that already for them. So... yeah, and I guess they're trying to take Raw being edgier too, so if this is going, we might finally get something more interesting on Raw and SmackDown. Hopefully. Okay.
Yeah. Anyways.
Yeah, so...
let's get on to the predictions.
This has been a long
starting off with the main event. We'll save what the possible main event will be. This will be Baron Corbin again, which is amazing for me.
Yeah, I'm thinking this mixed tag team Extreme Rules match, last chance winners takes all mixed tag team Extreme Rules match will be the main event, because that's the most unusual match. Yeah.
We'll start off with Drew Gulag versus Tony Nese. I don't watch 205 Live, probably still won't ever watch it. I'm gonna be saying Gulag's gonna retain.
I was definitely surprised that the title changed hands, because I was predicting Tony Nese would have been Cruiserweight Champ till SummerSlam, but they prematurely end that. So I'm going to get this to Drew Gulag, because they probably want to run him with the title, and he's the main heel on 205 Live right now. So might want to really...
and plus, plus Extreme Rules is in Philadelphia, Gulag's from Philly, so
that might help. Heck, that might actually help him be on the main show. Who knows?
Look at Zack Ryder and Kurt Hawkins at Mania. They were on the pre-show, and they're both from that city or area.
Okay, true.
Next up, Revival versus Usos for the Raw Tag Team.
Revival and who have not done much of anything since winning that belt, and the Usos who was still such a hot tag team, and...
okay, no. Revival have done some things since winning the belts.
Well, yeah, that was...
they've been on Shane's side a couple weeks ago, and when Heath Slater came into the room and asking for money from a raise from Shane, Drew came back. Drew walked him out like, man, we've been friends for like 10 years. We go all the way back. 3-man band for life. I want to do this for you. He's like, no. Drew tries to hand him money, but Heath slapped it out. Heath turned it down. It dropped. Slater picked it up. Drew threw him into the steel carts. And then when the Revival came out, Revival picked up the money. So Revival had probably put, what, $500 from Drew? So the Revival have done something. They stole money from Drew.
Yeah, but I think when it comes to, wrestling matches, I think they only had like one ever since winning those titles, and
they had two, but one got canceled due to the Usos.
Yeah. Well, no, they were still. Wait, were they champions at that time? I think they were. Yeah. But anyway, so I think this is going to be the show where they're going to try. Well, when it comes to WWE, when they get to low ratings, is that they'll finally start listening to fans, at least in a small smudge, like in a small smidge of listening. So I think this might be the show where they might do that. And I think Shane McMahon and everyone associated with him are going down on this show. So I'm giving it to the Usos to become the new Raw Tag Team Champions.
Yeah, my money is on Usos for this one as well.
I don't really think they have anything...
just based on it.
Like, Usos always have something to do,
yeah,
whether they are champions or not. But Revival don't really have much, so I think this is going to be the fall for Shane and his crew tonight. So I said that so easily, but yeah, the Usos for me then.
From the Raw Tag Team Championship, let's go to the SmackDown one now. Triple threat for the SmackDown titles. We have the Planet Champions, Daniel Bryan and Rowan, versus The New Day versus Tucky and Otis. God damn, I love Heavy Machinery. I fucking love Heavy Machinery. With Heavy Machinery winning on SmackDown, I just can't see them winning the titles now. It doesn't make any sense. It's unfortunate. They have so much potential as a team.
I think they'll have at least one more title chance before they go back to falling to obscurity. I can't say that word right now, but you know what I'm saying. Like Sammy did.
Obscurity. Yeah.
Yeah. So
exactly.
Yeah. Well, for who I think is gonna win, I'm gonna give this to Daniel Bryan and Rowan to retain because they're the main heel tag team in the entire division right now, and I think they want to keep them going at least up to SummerSlam or maybe Survivor Series. But as for now, I'm giving this to Daniel Bryan and Rowan to retain.
My gut is telling me to go with Daniel Bryan and Rowan, but I have a feeling New Day is gonna win. I have a gut feeling New Day is gonna win, but I don't know what to go with. Part of me that says New Day is saying, well, Kofi's gonna retain, so why not have all New Days as champions for a little while? Makes sense. But then the other part is like, you know, Rowan and Daniel Bryan are good heels. They're gonna retain as good heels. This hurts to guess and predict. I'm gonna go with Daniel Bryan and Rowan.
So you were going with the New Day, but instead you're going to Daniel Bryan and Rowan.
I'm going to go with my gut and go with the logical thing. Because the logical thing is Daniel Bryan and Rowan retain. That's the logical thing in this scenario. Let's stick with the theme of tag teams. The Undertaker and Roman Reigns versus the best in the world, Shane McMahon and Drew McIntyre.
What a very odd pairing, honestly.
There's a reason for this. I will explain to you after you make your prediction.
Like, this to me just feels like a complete, 2K19 randomized 4 wrestlers for a tag team and then just put it in there. That's what it feels like to me, this whole thing. But Undertaker, Reigns versus McMahon and McIntyre. I think it's quite obvious for this one. They want Roman to, make his comeback, after Shane beat him at Saudi Arabia. Undertaker still needs to go into this match looking strong, so I'm giving this to Taker and Reigns to win.
Interesting. We have our first disagreement.
I'm going to be losing my crap if you're actually picking McMahon and McIntyre.
I am, and here's why. When Undertaker came back to face Goldberg at Saudi, he did not want that match. He wanted to face a specific superstar on a one-on-one match.
Oh, I heard the rumor.
They're both in this match.
Going at now, yeah.
Undertaker wants to face Drew. So Drew is gonna pin Undertaker, and thus that's gonna begin like a rivalry, quote unquote, until SummerSlam. And that is where SummerSlam, Drew McIntyre will defeat The Undertaker in Undertaker's legitimate final WWE match ever. Besides appearances at Royal Rumbles and shit like that.
Let's hope it is his final match at WrestleMania, but...
But in order for that to happen, having Drew pin Undertaker doesn't really feel like anything. So part of me thinking, well, for this to work, Undertaker needs to pin Drew. But at the same time, they want to run with Shane and Drew for a bit longer. So I am giving it to Shane and Drew. And I'm no points though I'm saying Drew's gonna be pinning Undertaker though. That's my thing.
Interesting theory. And yes, I heard rumors about Undertaker actually wanting to face Drew. Whether those rumors are true or not have not been confirmed, but I heard about them, and
it came from Undertaker's mouth. I will take that as legitimate proof.
But since apparently, for whatever weird reason, Undertaker is in this match against Drew McIntyre in a tag team match, I guess that probably helps prove it a little bit. And this would definitely help start the rivalry of Drew McIntyre. Maybe they'll probably face in all of the big 4 pay-per-views, all the way up to Mania. I think that will probably be a good way to keep building this up. But I'm definitely giving this to... I'm still going to get this to Taker and Reigns, because I think they will probably want to both look strong walking out of this show. So,
yeah.
Taker and Reigns for me.
Yeah. I'm sticking with Shane and Drew, just to switch it up a little bit too. Next up, we have Kofi Kingston versus Samoa Joe.
Yes, it is.
I'm gonna give it to Kofi.
Now, unlike, the last time Joe was facing for the title, which was against AJ Styles had this thing going where he could have broke a certain record, but of course, how that got ruined, but I'm gonna let that go right now. But now since Joe doesn't really have anyone to keep going on with this record that I said I wanted to be broken, he has much more of a chance of actually taking it off of Kofi Kingston for this one, but I think they want to build up to that to make it bigger. Maybe at SummerSlam is what I'm going to guess he's probably going to win. Yeah, because I think Kofi Kingston's reign is going to end at SummerSlam on pretty much no matter what it is. So until then, I'm giving it to Kofi to retain. And I hope the next champion is Joe. But for now,
this is one of the only matches I will not mind if I'm wrong with. I want Joe to become champion.
Because Joe wins.
I just can't see him being champion on Extreme Rules.
Part of wanting to see one of your guys as champion is playing the waiting game, and I think we have to wait for about SummerSlam for Joe to be champion. So I want him to be champ now, but I think for now Kingston is going to retain this title.
Yeah. The handicap match. Bayley versus Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross. When Nikki Cross won the stipulation match, I was hoping she would say, I want to play with both of you. It's a triple threat. I would have loved that. But it didn't happen. Now we have a handicap match.
I think, of course, Bayley is going to retain. I think they won't be having a SmackDown Tag Women's Champions. I think this is going to be a thing where, Alexa is going to keep using Nikki, and Nikki is going to keep screwing up somehow, to the point to where, probably Alexa will have enough of using Nikki and just get rid of her. So I think this is going to be another step into that storyline. So I'm giving it to Bayley to retain.
I'm picking Bayley for the most obvious reason. You need a SmackDown Women to be the SmackDown Women's Champion. Both Nikki and Alexa are Raw.
To be honest, with this whole wild card thing, I gave up on keeping track of who's on Raw and SmackDown, because to me there's no point on doing that anymore. But
Roman's on Raw and SmackDown. Roman's been on every single fucking thing since that wild card has existed.
Which I heard is actually supposed to end at Extreme Rules. Well, technically end last week, basically. I hope it's true, but I doubt it. But yeah, we'll see.
But yeah, I'm picking Bayley as well, just because logic.
I'm picking Bayley, I guess for both logic and storyline reasons. Yeah.
Yeah. Braun Strowman versus Bobby Lashley in a last man standing match.
Now,
I'm picking Bobby just because Braun is due to get a huge push, and he doesn't need this win here to get a big push. If Bobby loses here, he's fucked for a while. So I think the way to keep them both strong is to have Bobby win this.
The last time these two had a match was probably the most entertaining match together for a whole lot of reasons.
Oh god, that was scary.
That was epic. But now, seeing as how they're both really strong men going to that, I think that's why they did that quite of a spot. And I think, honestly, I'm going to put out something that is a huge, huge shocker, okay? I think neither. I think this is going to end up in a draw where both of them will pretty much be kicking each other's asses too much to the point to where they'll probably just both lay down at the same time, and the referee will count to 10.
How?
For both of them,
Define
and they will not get
how
up.
The fuck they will be both on the ground at the same time to start the count to 10.
Well, it actually happened before. Check out the Royal Rumble 2004 Triple H versus Michaels. They had a last man standing match that ended exactly how I did. They were fighting each other for almost 40 minutes. and they were so exhausted to the point where they both kind of like passed out, and referee was counting to 10 for both of them. Like, they don't have to lay on the ground like on the exact same time, but like close enough, like before the referee counts to 1 for it to count. So I think this might end up leaving it to see how equally powerful Bobby and Braun are. So I think this is going to end up in a draw.
Interesting.
Yes, I know. I was picking a legit winner here, honestly, but then after I was thinking about how they were both laid out on Raw, and I think this will end up the same way as Triple H and Michaels' Last Man Standing match at Royal Rumble 2004, which is probably the Rumble, which is probably now I'm gonna get us demonetized just by mentioning that event. I think that's gonna end up the same way as it. So, yes, Triple H and I think it's gonna end up in a draw, just like it did with Michaels and Triple H from 2004.
Fair enough. Aleister Black versus Cesaro.
Aleister Black finally getting his own main roster push, separate from his tag team with Ricochet. It's about time. And Cesaro, who's finally getting his old singles run after teaming up with Sheamus for almost 2 years, I think. So this will definitely be a good start for both of them.
Considering, I don't know who to pick for this, because Cesaro is technically a Raw superstar and Black SmackDown. So I'm not sure if they're going to move Cesaro back over to SmackDown for this to work fully.
I think since Cesaro already has his own singles push and tag team push, they need to start pushing Aleister, who is still a hot, fresh talent off of NXT. So I'm giving this to Black to win.
That's the logical answer here. Cesaro has well-established career. He can afford a loss in this scenario.
So I guess we're both going with Black for this one.
Yep. Just because it seems logical enough. Ricochet versus AJ Styles for the United States Championship.
Which can also actually be competition for match of the night with Alice and Cesaro, but besides the point,
I'm saying Ricochet.
Ricochet
still new to the title.
This would definitely start a very interesting rivalry, which will probably last for quite a while, but I'm going to get this to Ricochet to retain because he's still hot and fresh with the title, and he has a good amount of fans, some people who like him. So I'm giving this to Ricochet to retain, but I'm not going to doubt AJ Styles is definitely going to pull up a fight.
But yeah, Ricochet still new to the title. He's going to retain it, I think. It's simple as that. And lastly, what my favorite match of the night is most likely going to be Seth Rollins, who is the Universal Champion, and his girlfriend, Becky Lynch, who is the Raw Women's Champion, versus Baron Corbin and Lacey Evans in a last chance, winner takes all, mixed tag team Extreme Rules match for both the Universal Championship and the Raw Women's Championship.
Man.
Say that 10 times fast.
And Baron Corbin and Lacey Evans, who might be possibly in a storyline relationship coming up soon from the way they've been talking.
I hope not.
But besides the point, this could actually be an interesting match, in my opinion, despite how weird it is, because since it is an Extreme Rules mixed tag team match, and these kind of matches where it's basically an extreme no disqualification match, practically both of them can be in the ring at the exact same time, so we might be able to see some mixed intergender action, which I think will be fun to see. And I think, so many different combinations that we could see. Maybe Lacey Evans will probably push Seth Rollins to his point too, he snaps at her. Maybe Becky could kick Baron's ass. There's like a whole lot that can happen. I can see this will be a lot more than just...
I'm going to steal this thought from Cultaholic, mainly Adam Pacitti, I believe it was. He said one of the best finishers that would happen is in this match is if Becky Lynch tapped out Baron Corbin, disarm her. Seeing Becky tap out the 6'7" giant, whatever, that would be embarrassing to Baron Corbin. But will that happen?
No,
Fuck no. I'm gonna go with my gut. And my gut is telling me Baron fucking Corbin and Lacey fucking Evans.
And I'm gonna go storyline-wise, possibly. I'm giving this to Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch to retain. But without doubt, as I said, there's gonna be some interesting combinations in this match. Like, it's gonna be a lot more than just Seth fighting Baron, Baron fighting Seth, Becky fighting Lacey, Lacey fighting Becky. There's gonna be some intergender tag team action, and this is
by
a good
far.
excuse to do that.
For
So,
sure.
but I think definitely at the very end, though, I'm giving this to both Becky and Seth to retain.
Of course you are. They just need to pull the trigger on Baron and Lacey. I would love to see Baron as Universal Champion, because then you gotta figure out who is gonna be the next in line for the Universal Championship.
Styles, if he does not beat... No, I'm sorry, I can't even tell. I'm just pulled out of my ass.
Yeah, exactly. Baron Corbin needs this title so he can start another rivalry with somebody else who's a good face on Raw. Let's go with Eric Young for the Universal Championship.
Oh, will that be the day?
Oh god, that's just awful now I'm thinking about it. But let's talk about something else that's very, very interesting. The 24/7 title.
It has been a very interesting title. It's been fun seeing these guys trying to pin each other, trying to see who becomes champion the longest. And I think this is the longest amount of time R-Truth has been champion. Has been without being champion, I'm sorry, so that's a record.
Yeah, currently the order of most championship reigns to least. R-Truth with 8 reigns. Drake, Elias, and Jinder Mahal with 2. Robert Roode, Heath Slater, Cedric Alexander, Titus O'Neil, and EC3 all with 1. I'm just waiting for No Way Jose to become champion.
Well, he's jobless, so he might.
Unfortunately. But I read something earlier today, and that was R-Truth had an original idea how to get the title back from Drake at the wedding. And that was gonna be R-Truth is gonna fucking wear a dress to the wedding and disguise himself as his wife, as Drake's wife apparently.
So apparently he wants Drake to act like he's blind. Okay. And that concludes our
Extreme
Rules. And a little bit of talk of the 24/7 title. As I said, to me this is not really an awful card, but it's weird. I can agree with you that it's definitely a weird card, but I think a lot of good can come out of it. We just gotta see what happens in the show.
Will join us exactly in 1 month from recording this for SummerSlam in my home country of Canada. Which I was going to go to SummerSlam, but I can't pay for it. I will probably not be streaming the simulation card because my current Wi-Fi SAS, so I moved back for the summer. And I tried streaming last summer and it was abysmal. I probably won't be able to watch it until Monday because my friend is coming out from Ottawa. But yeah, I have high hopes for this card actually. Yeah, anyways, I've been Ryan, that's been Charles, and we'll see you
guys
for SummerSlam! SummerSlam!
next month. See ya.
Yes.